Hi, my name's Connie and I am making this video for Dystonia Awareness. September is Dystonia Awareness Month. What we are trying to do is get dystonia out there, and there is a petition to be signed to go to the White House. It's all over the internet, all over Facebook. Please go sign it. We need 100,000 signatures to go, so dystonia will be recognized through the medical community and just be acknowledged. This video is actually about my story with dystonia. I live in a small town in Idaho. I'm a mom of 3 and the grandma of 4 amazing little boys. I had the perfect life, I guess you could call it. And I went to bed one night and I woke up and I have secondary dystonia tardive dyskinesia. What that basically is I have dystonia due to medication. So those side effects that you do see on your bottles, they do come true. And as a patient, you have every right to research the medication that you are on. Do not always trust a doctor, and definitely do not trust the drug companies, because they are only after making a dollar. They even lie to the doctors about what is going on. In 2004, my brother and his fiance were brutally murdered by his ex-wife. I could not sleep. I had anxiety. I had nightmares after pictures and understanding what had happened. I went to the local doctor, told him what was going on. He presented to me that there was a brand new drug out on the market. It was going to be the new Prozac, and he put me on it. It helped me sleep. There's no doubt about that. And I was on it for a couple of years. I actually could no longer afford to take the medication because it was so expensive. My doctor said, hey, the company will send it to you for free. All we have to do is send this prescription off and fill out this form with your finances. At the time, I was a single mom, so I qualified. So every 4 months, 4 bottles would come. I would take it, and never anything was questioned. I was never seen by my doctor. He just continued to fill it out. In 2007, I actually switched doctors and asked him if there was something cheaper I could go on to help with my anxiety and my sleeping. When he found out the drug that I was on, he couldn't believe that I was actually on this medication. It was actually now labeled as a black box warning. And he was shocked that the side effects, that I had no side effects as of kidney failure, heart failure, liver failure. So they took me off the medication. Within a matter of a few days, I woke up and I had some of the craziest symptoms. I was shaking, I couldn't walk, I was falling. Went to the emergency room. They had no idea what was going on. I went to doctor to doctor to doctor. MRIs were coming back negative. There was nothing wrong with me. I went to a different state and was tested for MS because I had all the symptoms of MS. They did more brain scans, more electrodes. And they came up that I was having pseudo-seizures. Pseudo-seizures are basically you're under stress and your body and your mind make it up. So there was nothing wrong with me. I went through these storms. I was basically paralyzed at times. I shook so hard at times. I was missing work. I was losing weight, falling downstairs. My youngest son's memory of me having dystonia, before we had a name for it, was before he had his driver's license, he had to rush me to the emergency room because I fell down a flight of stairs and I couldn't stand up. I actually started feeling better. And I went almost a year with very few symptoms. I just was very tired. I could function. And then in September of 2009, it was my son's 16th birthday party. Had a big celebration. Things were great. I went to bed that night and I couldn't walk the next day. My symptoms continued to get worse and worse and worse. Didn't know what was going on. I just wanted to die. Continued with more and more doctors. I couldn't go to work because my office was upstairs, and so I would sit at the bottom of the stairs and literally just cry because I couldn't make it up the stairs. My arms would just sit and flop. They would hit the desk. People would sit and ask me, are you okay? I actually remember typing with one finger to one of my coworkers, actually my boss, that I needed help. At that time, he called my boyfriend to come get me. I went to stand up and I collapsed and I was basically paralyzed. I remember four of the guys carrying me downstairs to the car because I couldn't move. Still no answers. To the point I continued getting worse. My daughter lived out of town. She was coming to check on me. My youngest was here taking care of me. I thought I was having a heart attack. I couldn't breathe. My heart hurt so bad. Nobody had any answers. I'm going to try to post some videos here in a little bit. You can understand what I was going through. Doctor said I was making it up. And I would lay in bed literally and sit and think, how can I make this up? My kids videotaped me when I was sleeping. How could I make these things up? I didn't understand. Why were these doctors telling me that I was making these things up? I was losing my speech. I was missing work. That was a huge stress. Still had no idea what was going on. We videotaped some of my episodes and sent it to the Mayo Clinic, and within 5 days, the Mayo Clinic had me scheduled to be in there. I had amazing friends that put a fundraiser together so I could actually go down there and my kids could be taken care of while I was down there. At that point, I was diagnosed with tardive dyskinesia, which is actually the side effect from medication. At that point, we continued to research the medication that I'd been on, and actually, it was not a drug that that was ever supposed to be an antidepressant. It's actually used for heavy severe bipolar schizophrenia, and you should be monitored at all time while you're on this medication. And I was on it for almost 4 years. At least I had an answer at that point. I remember right before going to the Mayo Clinic, I was laying in bed and I was researching the internet, and I could not find anything whatsoever that portrayed what I was going on with me. I really thought I was crazy. And I'll never forget, I actually found a chat forum somewhere and someone was describing my symptoms, and they had actually been on a medication also. I just cried. I called my boyfriend and was like, somebody else has this. I'm not making this up. There's really something wrong with me. I fell after I came home. I was using a walker at that point. I'd lost being able to move it all by myself. I actually was getting out of the shower one morning and fell and dislocated my shoulder and hit my head. My daughter took me to my current doctor where I live at now, who is the most amazing man I've ever met in my life. He's always up studying what the new medications are, what we can do to keep me healthy and keep me moving. I ended up with a slight brain bleed. They had to rush me by ambulance 2 nights later because I had lost all my speech. My face was paralyzed. I was told at the hospital all they could do was sedate me and send me home because there was no way to treat my tremors. I have shook so hard. I've dislocated my ribs. I have dislocated my shoulder 3 times. I just fell in February trying to get to the bathroom, from the bathroom back to the bed, and dislocated my hip. I've actually had to have my husband hold me until the tremors go away because he's so afraid that I shake so hard that I'm going to crack my head open. I have sat and watched my kids in total fear that I was going to die. I just don't have just one form of symptoms. I have several. They have affected everything from my walking to my speech to my swallowing. I've actually gone several weeks without being able to swallow any food because I choke. I've actually woke up choking in the middle of the night on my own saliva. I am fortunate enough to have a company that works with me with my health. I ended up switching jobs, but they work with me. They know when I get tired that I have to rest. They know if I start throwing things with no control it's become a joke, but they know it's time for me to go home. I drag my leg. Um, Fun things that I used to do, I no longer get to do because they make me so tired. We plan things around my health. I don't cook anymore because it makes me so tired. Um, you'll hear people talk about dystonia, about the pain. The only way that I can describe a pain of dystonia is having the flu or influenza, the worst case of flu you've ever had in your life, where your fever is 105, your skin hurts, you want to be in the bathtub, you hurt so bad you can't even stand it. I describe it as that times 1,000. We kind of laugh now because when I get to the point that I seriously don't think I can make it another minute and that I seriously want to die, as horrible as that sounds, we know that that is the point that where I'm peaking and that my body's slowly going to start regaining itself and that I'm on the mend. A new telltale sign that we finally have noticed is my speech. When I get tired, I start slurring my words. If I got pulled over for a DUI, I couldn't walk the line and I definitely could not talk. My speech slurs. I forget things that I'm saying often. My kids and my husband actually finish my sentences for me. I can actually be looking at the stove to tell them that dinner is on the stove, and all I can do is point because it's in my head, but it can't come to my mouth. Before I was sick, I was a single mom. I worked anywhere from 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, sometimes even more. I lived to go to the gym. I ran at least 2 miles a night and did over 400 sit-ups, and I was bench pressing 80 pounds. I now can't go to the grocery store without having help because it makes me too tired. And there's days that I actually will drive by the convenience store and wish that I could go in and get a pop, or just something, but I can't get out of the car because it's too much effort. The bills have been insane. Trying to get diagnosed, and the medications, the time I've missed from work. Had to have surgery last year on my hip and my elbow because the tremors had caused so much bursitis and damage to my ligaments in my hip and my elbow. I had to go in and have surgery so I could have function on my right arm again. And trying to relieve the pain in my hips, I was going in for cortisone, Novocaine shots at least once to twice a month in both sides of my hips prior to that surgery. So my life has changed dramatically. If we have a good day, we try to enjoy it. A good day is going to lunch and walking the mall and coming home. I don't think I've held my grandson, that's 2 now, more than a couple of times because I'm afraid I will drop him. My daughter lives on the East Coast. I haven't seen her in 3 years, or my new grandson, because I know I can't fly by myself and make it through the airports. And I know that I will be too tired by the time I get off the flight. I am fortunate compared to so many others. I am not in a wheelchair. I still can work. We're learning to deal with this on a daily basis. And the most amazing thing is I belong to so many support groups with dystonia. Even my kids say that when I first got sick, there was nothing on the internet. And now I have people that understand. And I don't think I'm dying a lot of the times when I have something new, like with my breathing. The spasms get so bad in my chest that I seriously cannot breathe, and I feel like my ribs are going to break and my heart will explode out of my chest. I know that this is actually normal. It's actually the muscles in my chest wall that are contracting. I'm not having a heart attack. I know that the choking thing is common. I know that my lymph nodes swelling is common because I don't exercise, I don't flush it through my system. Speech comes with it also. Um, so that helps on the medical bills, considering that I basically am gonna financially ruined because of my health. Um, I do have a handicap sticker now, so I can make it into the grocery store. Um, the thing about it is, like today, I look normal, I'm functioning, but you wouldn't know that Sunday I never got out of bed. Um, that I have 5 stairs that lead upstairs to my bedroom, and I have to crawl up those numerous times to make it to bed. My family actually jokes that they're going to put a baby gate at the top of the stairs because they don't want me to fall down, which I have. Um, I'm very independent and I don't want to ask for help. I'm getting better about it. This last fall, I'm still paying the cost for it, and I was home by myself. My kids were out of town, my dad was out of town, my husband was out of town. I realized how dangerous it could have been, and all I had to do was ask for help. Um, I don't go out in public a lot anymore. My biggest fear is to have an episode while I'm in the store and people not understanding. Or I actually did go out with some girls to get together one night, and my biggest fear, all I could do is sit and look at the couch to the door and think, okay, can I make it to my car when this is over with? And if I can't, can I explain to these women that I've never met before what's going on? I rely on my kids and my family so much to take care of me. I'm slowly starting to let people into my life a little bit and let them see how bad these episodes can be and that it's okay to ask for help. And if people stare, that's their problem. They need to understand what this is all about. And it can happen to anybody. Somebody that you know will probably have this. Will come either by medication or from hereditary, because it is hereditary. I just have the secondary form of it. Like I said, I am so blessed and fortunate because my family takes such good care of me. I have an amazing job. Everybody understands and everybody helps me. It's me that has to learn to accept this and to deal with it and to come to terms with it and to believe that there's going to be a cure and awareness of this one day and that I can have my life back. So it's actually been very humbling to me because I realize the difficulties that there are in life, that things that you take for granted, that you can wake up and they can be gone. So what I'm asking is sign the petition, get the medical community to recognize this and that we're not making this up. Believe me, nobody wants to make this up. It's the most horrible disease or disorder there is. I call it evil because it takes your life. And I always say that the mean thing about dystonia is it won't kill you. You don't have an end to it. There's no answers and there's no cure. And I can guarantee that it will change your family. If it happens to you, it changes your friends. And you need to understand what they're going through. And if they make plans with you and they cancel, it's because you can't get out of bed. But taking the shower was so much that you are laying on the bathroom floor because you can't make it any farther. I didn't plan on this being an emotional video. I planned on this being awareness. But it is emotional. I have put on a brave face that I'm okay. I see on Facebook the saying all the time that what hurts the most is when somebody asks you if you're okay and you say is everything all right? And you say I'm okay. The people that say they're okay, they're not okay. I've hid in the bathroom numerous times and just cried so nobody can see me breaking down. Because I don't want people to have to take care of me. And that's the hardest thing for me to accept. But I will fight and I will enjoy every good day that I have. And if my video or my story can help one person that thinks they're crazy and they're making this up, and their doctor's telling them that they're making it up, you're not. Find a doctor that believes you because they're out there. Because I have one. He's actually so amazing that before he sends me to another doctor, he calls and tells them. Because he did send me to a doctor once that actually called and told him that I needed psychiatric help, that there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. And it was just shortly after that that we got all of our diagnoses back and everything that was going on. So he now calls prior to me going in there and explains it, because most doctors do not know what dystonia is. They have no clue what tardive dyskinesia is TD. And I am proud to say that I have secondary dystonia tardive dyskinesia because I have a diagnosis now. I can say that there is something wrong with me, though you can't see it except on my bad days. But as I was saying, if I can help one person not feel lost or alone, or they're going crazy, or that nobody loves them, there's a reason why God decided that I needed to have this, to humble me, to help somebody else, to help give my children compassion, to help bring awareness. So I'm just asking, if you see the petition on Facebook, please sign it. Please share my video. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm just asking for people to understand and share. Thank you for your time, and please sign the petition, and please wear orange, and please research dystonia. We're not asking for donations. Please go visit the Dystonia Foundation on Facebook. They have everything from stories to donation sites to merchandise. But as I was saying, go visit. They have merchandise, they have awareness, they have so much information, symptoms. That website saved my life, saved my sanity. So once again, thank you for letting me be share 25 minutes of your life. I hope that I can help somebody that might be in your family. I appreciate it. Thank you.